It's now just 100 days until the Summer Olympics when we find out which of the world's athletes is most like a dolphin. So, yesterday, Nike unveiled the new Team USA uniforms, and one of the options for women's track and field is getting a lot of attention. Oh, is this not getting your attention? Zoom in. Right. We got your attention now. Look at this. That doesn't even cover the mannequin's pussy, and she ain't even got one. This outfit should not be for Team USA. Team Brazilian? Absolutely. And what is the point of this? Are they trying to distract the other competitors? Folks just slamming in the hurdles like, oh, I forgot to jump. I was looking at that vagina. Don't nobody want to see this? What we want to see is that man from Tonga. Put him up. Oh. I miss you. In other sports news, NBA player Jontay recently got caught gambling on his own team and even faking injuries to influence bets. And today, the NBA banned him for life. Yeah. It's the harshest punishment the NBA can hand down besides making you play for the Detroit Pistons. I mean, I guess it's easier to fake an injury than to play better. But still, fixing games is an unacceptable thing for an NBA player to do. Now, if it was the WNBA, I mean, listen, they are underpaid. You need a side hustle. You got to do what you got to do, sis. Now, moving on. If you're going on a bad anniversary dinner, I got some news for you. Red Lobster is considering filing for bankruptcy. Which is ironic because every customer in Red Lobster is already broke. Now, the report says it's because of expensive leases and labor costs, but you know who I blame? Men. That's right. Y'all aren't living up to Beyonce's standards. Y'all not your woman good enough to earn that trip to Red Lobster. That's what happened. Your dick game is weak, and now an entire restaurant chain is going under. You should be ashamed of yourselves. But this doesn't affect me, though. I get my seafood from the tanks at an aquarium anyway. See, I'm dating this guy who gets in the scuba gear and cleans the glass. He brings me the best stuff. Have you ever had beluga whale? Ooh, it's delicious. But let's move on to the big story. The trial of Donald Cell Block J. Trump. In another edition of America's Most Tremendously Wanted.
The whole thing is a scam.
The courthouse is on break today, you know, because it's Wednesday. So when they let out yesterday, Trump celebrated with a little tour of New York's hotspots.
New York City may be heavily Democratic, but former President Trump campaigned there anyway Tuesday, visiting a bodega after jury selection in his Manhattan hush money trial wrapped up for the day.
God bless you, man.
Movie star.
Thanks so much.
Gonna be a movie star, huh?
Thank you.
Are you kidding me, Donald Trump? You're gonna tell an immigrant father that his son should get into acting? What is wrong with you? As soon as you leave, the dad is gonna be like, don't you listen to that crazy man. You're taking this store over when I die. By the way, if you're from New York, you know it killed all those guys to have Trump standing there in the store wasting everyone's time. That owner was 2 seconds from being like, hey, Donald, buy something or get the out. Now, I will say, I'm surprised Trump didn't hit up the lotto machine while he was there. Dude owes over $500 million in fines. Can you imagine owing so much money that you have to hit Powerball just to get back to zero? Now, as for the actual trial, this week is all about picking a jury. And it might seem impossible to find 12 New Yorkers with an unbiased opinion of Donald Trump, but they're actually making some progress.
This morning, 7 jurors are sworn in to hear the historic criminal case against Donald Trump. So far, there are 3 women and 4 men. The foreman's originally from Ireland and still has the accent.
Yeah, he better still have the accent. What's the point of telling me he's from Ireland if he doesn't have the accent? An Irishman with no accent is just a white dude in America. the news can only point out someone's accent if they're white. You can be sure Wolf Blitzer's never gonna be like, he's originally from China and he still got the accent. No, Wolf Blitzer, you're gonna get canceled, friend, canceled. And look, if you're gonna be found guilty, you want to hear it in an Irish accent. It's so pleasant and charming. It's like, looks like you're training in a pay to get us for some toilet wine, me lad. I don't know why we look for me to do an Irish accent. It sounds crazy. Anyway, aside from Patty McGee, who else is on this jury?
It's an interesting cross-section of the kind of people in Manhattan, the jury of Donald Trump's peers.
There's an oncology nurse who said no one is above the law. A teacher from a family of police officers said President Trump speaks his mind. And a grandfather from Puerto Rico who called Trump fascinating and mysterious.
Fascinating and mysterious? He's not a Chanel fragrance. And this dude is the least mysterious person in life. He tells us everything he's thinking. I know the names of all the people he's had sex with. I heard the details of what his penis looks like. Like, the only mysterious thing about him is what animal they made his wig out of. For more on the jury selection, let's go live to the courthouse with Josh Johnson! So, Josh, what's the rest of the jury gonna look like?
Well, ideally, they'll end up with a jury that represents New York. And they already have a nurse, a teacher, and a Puerto Rican. So now they just need a white woman who calls herself a witch and feels bad about gentrifying, but definitely isn't moving. I'm told they're also looking for a subway masturbator and someone with a history of being stabbed or stabbing. And to represent the views of Staten Island, they're looking for a fireman or a racist.
Racist against who?
Ideally, everybody. And of course, they're definitely going to want a young black man who's nicely dressed, non-threatening, and standing outside the courthouse right now.
Josh, are you trying to get on the jury?
No, I mean, if I'm called upon, that's my civic duty to, sure, yes, I want to be on the jury, yes.
Josh, why? No one wants jury duty. The only people who don't get out of jury duty are the ones who are stupid or hate their families.
Joke's on you, Dulcé. I don't have a family or stupid.
Yo, what?
Look, the point is, in this economy... The point is, in this economy, you need steady work. And being on a Trump trial is the steadiest work. This gig could last me for decades.
It's $40 a day. You can't make a living off that.
That's because you're not factoring in the potential bribe money. I'm not leaving anything on the table. Look, Trump. Are you looking? Look, Trump. I'm talking to you. Trump. Look, now. Hey, boy, look. At the TV, now. For $400, you walk free. For $450, I'll put Stormy Daniels in jail, okay? I don't even know if I can do that, but I'm gonna try. As long as I can walk out of that courtroom with a check and a mink coat.
You can't pull off a mink coat. You're gonna look like a prepubescent Cat Williams. So you don't care about this trial. You just want to be on the jury for selfish reasons.
Yeah, obviously. This thing's a cash cow. All these jurors are going to get book deals, daytime TV appearances. At least one of them is going to be on The Masked Singer. And I think I have what it takes to be a sexy wombat.
It's not easy money. Being part of a high-profile trial is exhausting.
Not this one. I can nap whenever Trump is napping. I'll dip my head when he dips his head. I'll bop up when he bops up. As long as we snore in rhythm, nobody will notice.
Josh, be serious. The leading presidential candidate is on trial. Isn't there a chance that he might finally face justice?